Welcome! This guide is designed specifically for senior leadership, boards of directors, and investors, particularly for those in US-based and multinational companies. We're here to give you a strategic overview of the EU AI Act's literacy requirements under what's known as Article 4. We've structured this to be as direct and valuable as possible. We're going to start with the most critical takeaway, the immediate global reach of this regulation. From there, we'll get into your specific obligations, define what literacy actually means here, offer a framework for action, and then wrap up with the stakes involved. Let's dive in. All right, first up, Section 1. Let's talk about why a European regulation demands your immediate attention, no matter where your company is actually headquartered. So, let's ask the question right out of the gate. Does a European rule that came into force back in 2025 really govern your global AI strategy today? The answer is a clear and simple yes. And this isn't just a compliance task. It's a critical governance issue that you need to be acting on right now. The timeline here is absolutely critical to understand. The AI literacy rules under Article 4, they became applicable in February of 2025. That's already happened. What's more, enforcement by national authorities is set to begin in August of this year, 2026. The clock really is ticking. So why is this so urgent? Because the AI Act has what's called extraterritorial reach. It's really straightforward. If your company's AI system produces an output that is then used inside the European Union, your organization is subject to the Act. It's that simple and that far-reaching. Okay, moving on to our second section. To really get a handle on your obligations, you first have to figure out what role your organization plays under the Act. First, we have the provider. This is any organization that actually develops an AI system and then puts it on the market or into service under its own brand. And then there's the deployer. This is an organization that is using an AI system under its own authority in a professional setting. And honestly, most organizations are going to find themselves in this category, even if they're also a provider. Getting this distinction right is absolutely critical because the obligations are very, very different. Providers, they have the main responsibility for things like conformity and risk assessments. Deployers, on the other hand, have to make sure human oversight is in place and that the system is being used properly. And you can be both, which means you really need to do a careful analysis of your responsibilities.
Now for Section 3. Let's talk about the standard. What in the world does the Act actually mean when it requires a sufficient level of AI literacy?
Well, thankfully, the Act itself gives us a definition. It talks about a combination of skills, knowledge, and understanding, all needed to make an informed deployment. It's also about being aware of the opportunities, the risks, and importantly, the potential harm these systems can cause. Now here's the key point. The regulators know that literacy isn't a monolith. There is no one-size-fits-all approach. The AI office is actually encouraging flexibility. Your approach really needs to be tailored to your company's specific context, the level of risk you're dealing with, and the different roles inside your organization.
That being said, there is a baseline. The European Commission has laid out these minimum steps that every single organization must take. You have to ensure a general understanding of AI across the company, tailor training for different roles, and of course, incorporate legal and ethical considerations.
So that brings us to Section 4, the blueprint. The big question is, how do you take these requirements and turn them into a real, actionable, and compliant training strategy? Well, this four-layer framework gives you a structured path to follow. You start with foundational, mandatory training for everyone. Then you move up to empowering your workforce with generative AI tools. Then you get into tailored role-specific training for folks in legal or procurement. And finally, you have highly specific, bespoke training for operators of high-risk systems. Now, an important note on this. While the Act doesn't require a specific certificate, keeping an internal record of your literacy programs is very, very strongly recommended. Think of this documentation as a critical part of good governance and as your proof of compliance. And finally, Section 5, the stakes. Let's look at the consequences of getting this wrong and how you can position your organization for success. As we've said, enforcement kicks off on August 2nd, 2026, and what's crucial to know is that this will be handled by national authorities in individual EU member states. It's not coming from some central EU body. Okay, let's talk fines. While there are no direct fines spelled out for failing to meet these specific Article 4 literacy requirements, non-compliance can make the penalties for other breaches of the AI Act significantly worse. And those penalties, well, they can go as high as 35 million euros, or this number, a staggering 7% of your global annual revenue. So the key here is to reframe this whole thing.
If you look at this obligation through a strategic lens, it stops being a legal hurdle and starts becoming a real competitive advantage. AI literacy is the bedrock of modern strategy, of risk management, and of responsible innovation. It strengthens judgment and enables confident leadership.
Now we have to include this disclaimer. This guide is for your information, but it is not legal advice. It is absolutely imperative that you consult with qualified legal counsel to figure out your organization's specific obligations and risks. Which brings us to the fundamental question for all leadership today. Is your board prepared to shift AI literacy from just another compliance checkbox to a core component of your corporate governance strategy? Because building organizational AI maturity is no longer just a nice-to-have. It is essential for any sustainable and legally compliant digital transformation.